It's Jaleesa at Cruiselit TV. Now, as Jaleesa, I write creative nonfiction. As L.A. Hawes, I write sweet and inspirational romance. And as Shayla McCann, I write Southern women's fiction. So a little bit of a different group of genres there. But I love the written word, and I love cruising. Those are my two passions, aside from my family. So here on Cruiselit TV, I'll be bringing you the latest in cruise developments, cruise news, as myself and my family take new cruises. In between cruises, I'll be bringing you updates on my latest work, when I will have new releases. I'll also, if you leave in the comment section who your favorite authors are, I think I might be able to get a few on here for some interviews and some live Q&As. So make sure you drop your comment below and let me know who your favorites are. And also let me know if you've been on a cruise recently and if you had trouble with your embarkation process. If you didn't, let me know how good your experience was. Join the discussion. Let us know. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and we're going to get right to it. Our first cruise ever was November 13 through 18, 21, just a few months ago. We cruised out of Galveston on the Carnival Breeze. We drove down the night before. It's a 4.5-hour drive. Drove down the night before, stayed at the Beachfront Palms Hotel right on the seawall. Beautiful view. Clean room, reasonable price. We parked the next morning at Galveston Park and Cruise. It was very nice. The only problem I had with it, my husband dropped me off. They don't have a shuttle. So for people who don't have ambulatory issues, as I sometimes do, not always, but sometimes, if you don't have a problem walking across the street, they're a good place to go. Reasonably priced, and our car was fine. They took care of it. Now our second cruise, we were gone a week. We came home for a week, went right back. That cruise, we chose to do the official Port of Galveston parking, because they do offer a shuttle, and they were able to get me around there, and I was afraid I'd fall before I got on my first cruise ever. Wasn't gonna happen. No. I made my cruise. But we got on there. Our arrival time, you check in online. Unless you're in a suite, you can check in 2 weeks prior to your cruise. They give you print it out. You choose your appointment time, your arrival appointment. On that cruise and the next one, our appointment time was 10 a.m. So our window was 10 to 10:30. During that time, we were busy. They actually took us in a couple of minutes early. By the time Gus dropped us off and he got back over there, it was about 9:50, and he dropped us off at 9:45. There were so many people, and I was overwhelmed. I'd never been out of the country, never been anywhere out of the States. Had never been on a cruise ship. I mean, car rides, yeah, driving across the country with my husband in an 18-wheeler, done it. I drove that rig just as much as he did. We drove team. Not a problem with that. Going on a cruise out of the country, I was scared. Yeah. I have very few fears, but that was one of them. And but no more. I walk up to a lady in uniform. I said, "Ma'am, I have no clue where I'm going, no clue what I'm doing. This is my first time." She said, "Oh, honey, just hand me your paper. It's going to be all right." She said, "Okay." She called a man over. She handed him my paperwork. She said, "This lady right here, please direct her where she needs to go." He reached down, he grabbed my carry-on, he led it around. I texted Gus and I told him, my husband, I told him where we were. He gets on over there. We get in line. Well, there was no line. We get up there, walk up to the gentleman at the door. He directs us to a lady just inside to talk to. She directs us over to this. We walked around this corner and there's this massive room with these ropes, like at a movie theater. That's like a maze. I felt like a mouse going for the cheese. We get up there to the agent. He wanted to see our paperwork. I had everything ready. If you have everything ready, you don't have to worry about anything. I had my birth certificate, my boarding pass, my COVID vaccine card. I also had my COVID test paperwork in there. Had my grandson with me. He looked at his paperwork. He said, "Son, what's your name?" He told him. He said, "How old are you?" He told him. He said, "Okay." He said, "Who's this lady right here?" He said, "That's my Mimi." He looked at me. He said, "Ma'am, do you have paperwork proving that it's okay for you to take your grandson out of the country?" And I said, "Yes, I do." I reached right behind my birth certificate. I pulled out the paperwork, handed it to him. He says, "Y'all are good to go." Now, if you have a passport, it's even faster. You go to another section, another gentleman or lady is standing there. You show them your passport and your vaccine card and your test, and they send you right on. Well, when we got done with him, we were there. We put our bags up on the belt. We took everything out of our pockets. They ran it through. By the time we went through the metal detector, our bags were waiting. They say, "Have a nice cruise." And we say, "Well, thank you. We're happy to be here." We get over to the next table. She wanted to check our drink boxes. Each person is allowed one 12-pack of sodas. Each adult over 21 is allowed one 750 ml bottle of wine. She said, "Do you have any alcohol in your bag?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do." I said, "He and I both have a bottle of wine." And she said, "Okay." She said, "Do you mind if I look?" And I said, "No, I don't mind at all." She unzipped it. The bottle was laying right there. She takes it out. She checks to make sure that it hadn't been opened, the paper isn't torn around the seal. She lays it right back down in the bag, exactly where she got it. She wasn't digging. She closed it up. She said, "Y'all are good to go." She said, "We're happy to have y'all back cruising again." And she says, "We hope you have a wonderful cruise." I said, "Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it." Walked right to the end of the table. There was a gentleman. He says, "Okay." He says, "I'll take you around and have your pictures taken." We do the face recognition. Walked up to this lady, handed her my packet. She took out the boarding pass. She said, "Now you hold on to this right here and your driver's license. Everything else you can put in a safe place." I said, "Okay." Walked up there, handed it to the lady at the desk. She said, she scanned my driver's license like a credit card. She said, "Now if you'll look at this camera right here and give it a big pretty smile," she says, "you'll be good to go." we walked around. The gentleman said, okay, he says, I'll be happy to escort you to your ship. He took us right up the gangplank, walked inside. They were playing some beautiful music. They had strings playing. They had a cello and a couple of violinists and I think a pianist. And we walked up to guest services, and I showed her my paperwork. I said, is there anything I need to do? And she said, no ma'am. She says, you're good. Just log in on your app. And she showed me how to do it. And she said, you can show your husband and your grandson. I logged in on the app. We did our muster drill. We walked around there, had a 2-minute demonstration of how to put on the life vest. She says your room will be ready and your sale and sign cards will be in your mailbox outside your room at 1 p.m. We walked around. We did our little 2-minute muster. We went straight out to Guy's Burgers. We went up to the Lido deck. We sat down, had a little drinky drink, had a burger, and we relaxed. We took videos, we took pictures. My husband and grandson played some ping pong. We went upstairs at 1 o'clock. We freshened up. Our balcony cabin was stunning. We were in a spa cabin. It was beautiful. We freshened up, got ready for the sail away, went out and did the sail away and left our luggage. Went out and did the sail away, took some pictures and movies, and came back, freshened up for dinner that night in the steakhouse. It was from 9:50 when they took us in there. It was 10:35 when we were sitting down on the Lido eating dinner. Everything done. There was no horror. There was no nightmare. It was just as smooth sailing as you could get. Pardon the pun, for getting checked in, getting boarded, ready to go. It wasn't all that. It was good. It was fun. And it was an experience to last a lifetime, but like I say, we were home a week, we turned around and went right back. So, that's all I have for you today. I've got more videos. I've got to get ready to go out. Be sure you like, subscribe, leave a message. Let me know who your favorite authors are. Let me know if you've cruised recently or if you've got a cruise coming up. And how your embarkation process is. We'd love to hear it. Until next time, see you on the high seas. Bye.